So, Tacoma is finally going to be able to open back up, kind of. So, I put that caveat in there because the sickness has had restaurants closed for a long time. And so now they're able to open up to 25%. So we'll see the economy start to slowly open back up. Make sure you join the Discord. It's going to be down in the description box below. The governor here has finally said it's time to open up restaurants, even though the sickness is probably just as bad, if not worse, than it has been before. The reality is that the economic power of the state is the western part, the Puget Sound region. If you didn't have the Puget Sound region, basically Washington would not have any money. These are facts. And when you shut down the biggest economy, which is Tacoma, Bellevue, and Seattle, then you ain't got no money. That's what changed the situation. It was months after months after months after months of not getting tax revenue that has created the situation where the governor is saying, okay, we can open up to 25%. That's still not going to do anything, to be honest with you, because there are some places, A, many restaurants are gone. B, some of the restaurants that did hang on are not going to be able to do certain things because of the way that they're designed, unless I didn't read this correctly. There was one point where if you had bay windows, you can open those bay windows up and all of this other stuff. But in reality, I've said it before, that none of that's going to really do much. And there are people who are in the restaurant industry who say the same thing. If you're not a business person, you don't understand. I've always said government is great for taking money, but they're not good at creating money. They don't know how to do that. They can take it all day long and spend it all day long. But they really don't know how to budget correctly, and they definitely don't know how to make money, and businesses do. And what you have is a situation where the state is just out of money. These are facts. They're saying that some of the places that can open up that hadn't been able to open up before, like gyms and different things like that. But again, there's a lot of people who are not going to go to those. A lot of people get tired of making food at home. They just do. A lot of folks don't necessarily want to go and just pick up food or have a drop off or whatever. And then by the time you get your food, it's cold or whatever. And then when there's fine dining, nobody's going to do no drop off and pick up a fine dining. That's the whole point, right? And then you have all these other hoops. And in reality, it just doesn't work. If you can send kids back to school, which I don't understand this, they want to send kids back to school where kids can pass on every single thing from hand, foot, and mouth disease to colds and coughs. I mean, kids are germ factories to each other. But for some reason, they think that's okay, but it's not okay for adults to go back. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely stupid. Really, what the reality is that they want the kids to go back to school because the thought is the parents can then go back to work. But that still is not going to, it doesn't move the needle the way that they were hoping. So now they're saying we can open up some restaurants, even though there's all these different strains going out, even though most of the people who are working and watching this video can't even get a shot. If they wanted to, they're wanting to do that. This is not a upset session or a diss session or a negative video. I'm not trying for it to be that way, but it's just pointing out the fact that to me, this was all done backwards. No, I probably wouldn't have done things the way that, it was done. Do I think certain things should have been done? Absolutely. Do I think the government put a heavy-handed approach? Yes. Do I think that some state governors didn't do anything and that's wrong too? Absolutely. But I think that there should be a happy medium. And here, that just wasn't done. It has been so constricted, and you really don't have a whole lot of experts here, other than from the university. I mean, you have a lot. I mean, University of Washington, obviously, you have some of the world's leading researchers up there. But when it comes to like the folks on the state level, I mean, any state level, like, come on. Yeah, they have doctors and folks like that and all of that, but these are like doctors. They're not like people who deal with like infectious diseases and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And even the folks that deal with infectious disease, this is a new one. Like, you really have to be super specialized. And so it's like they don't, like, a lot of folks just don't know. It's a novel, right? It's a new thing. People don't know. First, you didn't need no mask, then you needed masks. They were making fun of the Asian countries and people who were wearing masks. You don't need to do that. Then they're like, well, yeah, you might need to do that. And now they're saying that the cloth needs to be doubled. When I was saying, you know what? I don't trust anybody. Nobody knows what they're talking about. And there's a reason why a lot of Asian countries had a low count. And it wasn't that they did an undercount, they just had a low count. A lot of folks wear masks, even though many of those countries are much more denser. A lot of folks wear masks. So guess what? I started wearing masks. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't want to wear one, that's your prerogative. You know, there's people I know that I'm around that don't. That's whatever. But me personally, I'm going to. And because I can't trust people, because people don't want to do the right thing, I make sure that you can't see it, but can you see it? Oh, it's over here. You can't. You see that 95? It's probably showing up as 56 for you, but it's an N95. Yep. Got me a bunch. Because I can't trust other people. So could it be that the state is saying, you know what, hey, let's move to this. I think that we can make this work. To be honest with you, I think that there's a lot of things that could have been done for businesses. Businesses could have easily had and I've said this before in a different video, like a glass shell, you know, where booths and things like that, I think a lot of them would have done it so that people can sit inside of a booth and they can eat and all of that. Then UV light to basically, you know, require them, or the state paid for it or whatever, to have a UV thing in there to clean it out, and that it obviously cleans bottom to top. That makes sense. When people are not sitting down eating, they have to wear a mask. They have to walk around wearing a mask. All the servers, all of the people working there should wear masks, absolutely. But the people coming in spending cash, they should be able to sit down and be able to eat and not have to worry, and be able to sit inside of a box. Or if people wanted to go to a bar and have a drink, there should be a way for them to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have my shield here, but there's a shield. Like, I don't get it. I just think that some of these places were too lax. Some states were way too lax, and other states were just way too heavy-handed. Hawaii is another example of that. Just heavy-handed, and it just destroyed their economy. So we'll see. Hopefully the economy here starts to pick back up again with the opening of this. Again, it's not a huge shift because retail still is only at 25%. You see what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that is just stupid to me. Retail should be at least 50%. Some people are saying that restaurants should be at 50%, but retail should at least be at 50%. People are in there shopping. They can wear a mask. They typically have to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't, I don't get it. Again, I'm not a doctor. What do I know? But to me, economically, we've been here in Washington shut down for so long that, and the numbers are not spectacular. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we have spectacular numbers. But people decide to the problem is too, people are like, well, they vote with their feet. I've always said that. People vote with their feet. You cannot stop someone that believes in free will. They're going to go right to whoever's house, Cousin Jones' house and say, you know what, Cousin Jones cooking, so we're going to be there. And then a bunch of other people do it, and guess what? That's more of a problem than something that's more regulated. That's the big issue with government getting involved in a lot of things, from prostitution to COVID to everything else. Regulation doesn't really work very well, and government is bad at that. You're better off allowing a business, and it's not just because I'm a business owner, but when you have all these heavy-handed rules, people will do things undercover where no one's watching, no one's social distancing or practicing something that's safe. So now any and everything happens, and it becomes a bigger issue, as opposed to saying, look, businesses have to, and have people pay people. If you're looking for people to be employed, pay people to literally come and regularly inspect, unannounced, these places often, to make sure that people in there are not walking around without a mask, and that people do have masks on. That to me makes sense. Hire hundreds, if not thousands of people in a city to go and check these establishments every so often. Not say nothing, just check to see, and anyone that doesn't have a mask on, require the person to put on a mask, or tell management, or whatever the case may be. That to me is better than just saying nope, because you can't stop people from showing up at each other's homes, social gathering, drinking. You can't really stop that. But anyway, what do I know? Hopefully more vaccine comes out and it gets to the working folk beyond the people who are in the emergency stuff. That's important too. Obviously, they should be the first ones, but hopefully it gets to everybody else, because it's not good. To be honest with you, people are scared to even go out still. But anyhow, we'll see. With that, with the opening of things, the prices here are going to explode. So again, the housing thing, the apartment thing, which I'll do videos talking about later. Yeah. This summer is going to be, I've heard from a couple of realtor people that I know, is going to be insane. They're looking at forecasts, which I'm hoping to get soon. But the projections, right? The projections are going to be insane. We'll see. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you join the Discord, which is going to be down in the description box below. Make sure you like, and when I say insane, I'm talking about in Tacoma. I don't know about the other places. I don't know about Seattle and all of those, but they're saying in Tacoma, specifically, the housing prices are going to be insane this summer. Even if things continue kind of the way that they are, but if things get better, it's going to be even worse in terms of people trying to buy, but it's going to be great for people who own property or trying to sell. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and until next time, and share, I will see you. Take care.